Welcome back, Cubs. Dire Wolf here. I'm with Foxy, VeryNearlyViral, and what's your name again, sir?
On Twitter, I'm Johnny Clearwater.
Johnny Clearwater. Sorry, I was confused because it's not what it says on the Hangouts. So we're going to be talking about the Fyre Festival, which seems to be a huge debacle. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
So this festival was put together by Ja Rule as the deadline was getting closer and the bands hadn't been paid yet. And he started to get some of the bigger mainstream media heads behind it, like Kendall Jenner, for example. They started to help promote it. I know that at one point the tickets were sold out about a week and a half ago, right before, 2 days before the concert was to go on. It's a festival. It's not just a concert. It's supposed to be 2 weekends out.
Let me stop you there for 1 second. You said the tickets were sold out, right?
Yeah, and then they put them back on sale at the last minute. Well, this is going to be a huge case of fraud.
How much are these tickets?
Between $2,000 to $12,000.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's fucking insanity. Why would it sell out priced like that?
It didn't sell. That's the point. This is a huge case of fraud. This is going to result in a massive lawsuit.
Did they reincarnate Michael Jackson and get him to fucking play?
Blink-182 was supposed to be one of the major headliners for the thing. They made a public statement on Twitter as well as on their own website that they canceled. They weren't going to show up. They didn't feel that everything that they needed to perform was going to be there. And this was last minute stuff. This is, people have already paid for this. A lot of people had already flown there. Now there's tons of people stuck at the airports. There's people stuck on this island that was supposed to be a private island, which also was false. It's like I said, it's a huge debacle. Meanwhile, you got a bunch of upper class elite kids all losing their fucking mind on this island now because they thought they were paying for these luxury tent setups and food where they're just ending up with 2 pieces of bread, 2 pieces of cheese, and a shitty salad. Like I said, the joke that's going on Twitter right now is they hope that these kids are being put through a social experiment to show them what refugees are like, lives are like. The stuff on Twitter about this shit is hilarious. Yeah. One guy wrote, somebody picked up a concept and blew into it. Now everybody's listening to him. It's like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
I just found a tweet. My dad paid $25K for me to go to Fyre Festival and meet Ja Rule. I'm in a porta potty, and my Birkenstocks are ruined. I hate life.
This article here says, this morning, Fyre Festival, a new musical festival that was billed as a multi-day luxury experience in the Bahamas, with some packages selling as high as $250,000, and a glossy Instagram advertisement by models like Emily, how you ever say that name, wow. Was officially postponed until further notice.
Yeah,
wow.
Crazy.
250,000.
The low end tickets were 2 to 12.
Yeah.
Wait. So what? Does anyone know what the capacity of the festival is like?
No one's saying.
No. I'll tell you this. Less than half the people that bought tickets to go to it have arrived, and Nassau has already declared that the island has too many people on it. So now these people are all stuck at airports also that were trying to go to this thing in the first place.
Oh, here's another tweet. Fyre Festival. We finally boarded a plane, but it was actually a bus with no wheels. Delusional with no food tonight.
Fucking hell. This is hilarious. So,
a lot of the flights that people were waiting for to go to the island have now been canceled and are being used as rescue flights to get people off of the island.
Here's how the luggage was being handled. Look at this. It's on the screen right now. They do just dropping luggage out of a storage container.
You should see a picture of there's another picture that's floating around somebody put up, and it's the security lockers that they were supposed to have, and they were worse than the ones you would see at a bus terminal, and they didn't supply locks for them.
Fucking cardboard boxes.
But yeah, apparently food started to run out, and people have started to fight for food. Some people's tents have been burned down.
Look at this, a pile of mattresses just sitting there.
Oh, it's so funny. Like, imagine the shock on these like sort of snobby cunts' faces when they get there.
To me, that's kind of the best part about it. Look, I said it before we were streaming. I was in the music industry for years. My wife and I go to many festivals. We actually got married at an Allman Brothers festival. And I mean, even paying for VIP packaging, which now that I'm married, I have to do. She wants VIP just for the private bathrooms. You're looking at literally $750, $800 for the weekend for the both of us. And there is, high quality food and private areas to mingle and good shit. But here on the low end, you're talking, these people are paying $2,000 to $12,000. This isn't your average Joe. You know what I mean? These are absolute elite snobs thinking they're going to go party with Ja Rule and all these really slutty models that help promote thing. It's beautiful.
You said Ja Rule was the one who put the event on, right?
Yes, it's his event.
Well, this is from his Twitter. Thank you all for participating in the FreeFestival social experiment, where we expose hundreds of millennials who have never experienced true adversary, the hardships facing refugees in foreign countries. This was an eye-opening experience for many of us, and we walk away from this event with new perspective on the human condition.
So the question is, did he plan it that way, or was it just his excuse for covering up for his horrible failure?
Well, the real question, and it doesn't matter if he actually planned that. And don't get me wrong, you're talking about Ja Rule, a multi-million-dollar artist who has multiple PR firms that work for him. They're going to try to spin this however they possibly can. That's guaranteed. So there's no way we'll ever know for sure if this is really what he had planned. But the real question is, the people that went, the people that spent this money, did they know? And from the reactions that we're seeing on Twitter and on other social media platforms from these people that were there and that are still there, they had no idea what they were getting into. And that's why this is going to lead to a huge lawsuit.
No, they couldn't have known, because who's going to spend like $2,000 or something to live like a refugee? No one's going to do that.
Well, I know some serious liberal retards out there that would do that. So
I know how to live like a refugee. I don't need to spend $2,000. I just like get a torn up coat and live on the street for a couple of nights or something. I don't need to pay 12 grand to get flown over to a tropical island where my life's now in danger because I've got to beat up a fucking posh cunt to get a cheese sandwich off it.
We know how to live like that, don't we, Dyer?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Well, that's the thing is, though, even if Ja Rule's like, oh, he's spinning it as some sort of social experiment. Like, what if like people started dying and shit? Like, he's not informed them. There's no health and safety in place and taking it.
That was another big factor, is there was a huge lack of security. So when people started to run out of food and we're actually starting to start fighting with people over it, there wasn't even anybody to step in to help these situations. So it's amazing. This thing that's going on is amazing. This is a huge case of fraud. I can't wait to see how this all plays out in the long run.
Yeah.
I'm finding it hard to believe that this is real, to be honest.
I am too. This seems so extreme.
Why would he come out and claim it's a social experiment? That's pretty retarded.
Again, unless that is true, that's his PR firm stepping in. I mean, you follow the trends of what's happening, and when you're seeing that people that are there are actually hoping that's what
that shows intent. A PR firm would not tell him after he commits a basically crime of fraud that they wouldn't tell him to then show intent, because then you get a bigger sentence.
Yeah, that's showing intent to fraud.
Jesus Christ. Like, Joey Salad thought he was good at doing these social experiments. Well, eat your fucking heart out. Ja Rule's got beat. It's like the world's most elaborate YouTube prank.
And all the money he took from these people to put them through what looks like, if you look at that video, third world conditions. It looks like the Syrian refugee camps in Turkey. That's what it looks like. God, I would be so pissed.
I can't believe that. I'm having a really hard time believing that this is real.
It is.
So
hard.
am I.
This is where they were supposed to lock up their belongings. If this is real, this is very This is very bad. I think it's criminal that he would do this intentionally to people.
The thing is, though, would Ja Rule be the one that gets the full blame put on him, or like he must have gone through like companies to organize this shit.
He had a partner in it, Fire Media, something Fire Media. But there's an account on Twitter also. This is a guy who's been tweeting about this event for weeks and warning people of the negative signs that we're starting to show about vendors not getting paid, about bands not getting their money. There's an account of a guy on Twitter who's been following this for some time now, and he's been warning people for weeks that this whole thing was going to go south.
Okay, so it says here, the Fire Festival was a complete scam. We arrived in Exuma International Airport and are told to get on a bus if you are supposed to be staying on site. So Megan, Toby, and I get to our bus and go to what we think is going to be the ultimate gambling experience. Think king-size beds, solar-powered light bulbs, furniture, etc. What actually happened is we get to a semi-constructed tent mess with a tiny stage and a huge line of very worried-looking people. They can't find their bags. Unfortunately, they didn't let us pick up our bags at the airport, so they dropped them off from the trucks. Oh my God, this was a lie, and it took us from 6:30 to 9:45 to get to our fucking luggage back. And aside from the tents, weren't actually built yet. So, of course, there was no furniture inside of them, as promised. I spoke to a woman who had paid $10,000 for a VIP villa package. She was promised an exclusive villa, VIP access, and an uplifting culinary experience. Instead, she got a particularly partially constructed tent, and all of the stuff we put inside it was stolen. My friend Lizzie had been there since 5:30 a.m. in the morning, and when we got there, she was still didn't have a wristband and need that you need for the entrance. Oh my God, this is a horrible wreck.
You'll see also on Twitter too. There was a lot of complaints leading right before the event began. You know, as in like a day or two before, where all of a sudden the Fire Media company stopped replying to anybody that had purchased tickets. People they hadn't had confirmation on flight times yet or anything, and the company completely shut down and stopped talking to people.
Say that this, like, let's just assume that this actually was, you know, designed to be a massive sort of social experiment to teach rich kids what it's like to be a refugee. Yeah, I mean, even if you know, because money's at play here, like large sums of money which have been taken off people deceptively. But even if you forget that, and it's like, okay, this is Ja Rule teaching rich kids what it's like to be a refugee if you're poor. Ja Rule's got a couple of quid knocking about, Annie. Isn't this kind of hypocritical? Does he know what it's like to be a refugee?
Look at this. Expectation, reality. Expectation, reality.
It is hilarious, though. It is absolutely hilarious.
It looks like Washington Post picked it up, Rolling Stone, Vice, Billboard, CBS.
There's going to
New
be
York Magazine, Vanity Fair. But the thing is, this is why I'm questioning it, because this is really rich kids with rich parents in living like third world country. You would think that would hit the airlines way more and hit places like more like Fox, CNN, and everyone will be sharing the same information, but I'm seeing limited sources to it.
Or maybe none of them can believe it. They're like, wait, is this just a big sort of publicity stunt or some shit? Like,
it's still new news too.
Yeah, if I were at Fox News and this came across my desk, I'd be afraid of being made the fool, and I'd be doing a lot of fact checking.
Look at that little picture up there. That was on their website. That was
But there's got to be some truth to this, right? If so many people are tweeting out these pictures and stuff, it couldn't have been organized to that degree. So
well, the only information we're getting is from Twitter. Why are the parents going on the news and throwing hissy fit and, you know, demanding their kids be returned? I'm just gonna wait on believing it until it's more verifiable through many more sources.
You know, whether it's true or not, it is hilarious. It could be an amazing troll, real or fake.
Sure. Yeah. It's, see, I'm reading it on Twitter, and I'm like, this is bollocks. Surely this is a load of bollocks. Like, everyone's like, oh, God, we're being trapped. It's like Hunger Games or Battle Royale or some shit. We've all got to murder each other now for cheese sandwiches. I'm like,
I mean, even Twitchy hasn't picked it up yet.
Oh, my God.
I don't care what it is at this point, whether it's real. I kind of hope it's real, but I don't care. Even if it isn't, it's still funny as fuck.
Just the idea of a whole bunch of SJW rich kids being forced into, like, Syrian refugee camps is just funny.
Yeah. Oh, God. I really do hope it's real, man.
You know,
I hope so, too.
A lot of people joke about putting, you know, all those SJWs that are so thin-skinned. We joke about putting them in, say, in a war zone and letting them, you know, see what it's really like to really be oppressed or really be having a tough life. And then this happens, and I'm like, this is kind of like the thing we've been joking about for a long time.